When I was younger, I used to dream about having a Pokemon. I would see Ash Ketchum bond with his Pokemon, build closer relationships, they would help each other become stronger, and they would form these unbreakable bonds, this companionship that could only be nurtured through a Pokemon trainer and his Pokemon. I saw that on my TV, and I used to yearn for that same type of connection. I imagine that was the dream for a lot of children that grew up watching Pokemon. And I used to dream about this and wish that it could come into reality until I reached about the age of 13. It was at that point that I realized we could never have Pokemon. In fact, if I had a button in front of me right now that allowed me to manifest Pokemon into the real world, at the press of a button, I wouldn't fucking do it. And the reason for that is because human beings don't deserve Pokemon. We are gonna fuck the Pokemon, and that would essentially ruin the entire fantasy that I had in my head. Humanity is much too depraved and evil to have something as pure and beautiful and kind as a Pokemon, as the love that Pokemons have for their trainers. I can already see it now. I summon Pokemon into the real world. Not even 24 hours are gonna pass. I'm gonna open Twitter. First thing I see, Sylveon gets stretched out by the Romanian sledgehammer. I scroll again. I caught my step-ditto masturbating. Wet emoji, wet emoji, wet emoji. Like, the amount of porn that people are gonna produce of Pokemon having sex is gonna be absolutely abhorrent. I know that it's gonna be a thriving industry because that is humanity. They basically ruin anything that starts off as good, they're gonna fuck it. And I don't want to live in a world where Pokemon get used for their bodies in a sexual way. I just wanted them to be my friends. But I know, yin and yang, good and evil, you can't get something without first giving something in return, and that's not a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. If I have to go the rest of my life never experiencing the warm connection of a Pokemon, then so be it, But I refuse to live in a timeline where I catch a random ass dude having public sex with a creature that he summoned out of his Pokeball. I just can't do it.